Hey, I'm Pastor Fred, and I'm here with one of my friends, Mr. Wiley. Good to see you,
Good to
brother.
see you too, man.
We been together for a while. He's one of our patients, or was, but he's still part of our fellowship. And I want you to hear his story. It is incredible. And so let me get started with my first question, Mr. Wiley.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you something. Tell me about your introduction to drugs.
I think I was probably about 14 when I started taking, all types of drugs.
Okay.
And sort of was in drug treatment when I was 19, dropping out of college, and pretty much did them up for a long time. I actually even met my future wife doing a little deal.
God.
You know, but yeah, so I've sort of had a 40-year career with it, or a battle with it, not necessarily a career.
Okay, I'm going to go back then. So you met Sara when?
That would have been November 2nd, 1986.
Okay, and tell me about your family.
I've got two daughters. They're Gabrielle and Catherine. They're 33 and 32. They're 10 months apart. And then Ian, our son, is 27.
Well, so what brought you to us? And if I remember right, you joined our program November 2018.
Yeah, it was the telemedicine part of it. I saw a sign on one of the exits, and
Okay.
I'd been struggling, with trying to get clean, and had gone to the methadone clinic for Suboxone and did that for 3 or 4 months, and then, the fact that you guys would trust me enough to mail me the medicine and a structured counseling program, then I thought it was a good fit for me.
Fantastic. All right, I'm going to go ask you some questions on a timeline.
All right.
And then you just kind of tell me about this, okay? I know it's painful, but that's okay. You ready? First timeline, April 30th. What happened then on April 30th?
My dog, my favorite dog of all time, Corn Dog, who was 15, passed away, and it was very hard. I mean, I love that dog more than any dog I'd ever had for some reason.
Well, tell me about the videos you sent me. You called me up and said,
Right.
Pastor Fred, look at this video. You won't believe this.
She could take a corn on the cob and roll it across the deck and hold her paw and eat it like a human. We called her Corn Dog because of the color of her skin, like a corn dog. But yeah, she loved corn on the cob.
Okay, so on that day, April 30th, Corn Dog passed away.
Right, and we buried her in the backyard. My wife Sara helped me bury her, and we put a golden rain tree on her. We do that, or I do it with all the dogs. Each has a special tree, and
Oh, wow.
that was her tree.
I didn't realize that. Now, I do remember you called me that evening. You told me about the tree. You told me everything. I was listening to Sara tell us that, hey, you better be careful because losing a pet can cause you to relapse.
Yeah.
And so we went over this dialogue, and you assured me that you would take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's when you told me about the tree and
Right.
all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So, but now the next day, I got another call from you in the morning. Can you tell me what happened what happened right after that?
The next day at about 5:27 in the morning, I walked in to tell my wife I was going to work, and she'd passed away in her sleep. And I called you and said something ironically tragic had happened, and I hung up. I didn't even elaborate. I just called and hung up. But I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. First of all, thank you for calling me. It meant a lot to me that I entered your life at this time. We really did become
Right.
close. So I guess the next question, Sara passed away on May 1st.
Right.
Well, tell me something else that happened that week that was special.
It would have been the next day was our 34th wedding anniversary. We had a big vacation planned and was going to be gone for a couple of weeks doing empty nest kind of stuff because all our kids have been gone for a while. But yeah, so then because she was gone, and I wanted to try to honor that vacation. I went to Wilmington to see friends. I went to the ocean. I went to Florida, and spent about a month trying to get wrapped around. What happened. What am I gonna do? Just going forward from that point on.
Would you say the month of May was kind of like a sabbatical for you?
Yeah, because I pretty much all my customers, I'm self-employed contractor, knew that I needed some time away. Me and you talked every day.
Yeah.
But I just needed to be away from that and try to figure out, what my next steps were.
Okay. One of the things that Dr. Rad and I encouraged you to do was find you a psychologist, and how did that work out for you?
Oh, great. I found her by just on the internet, and for some reason she stuck out. She was near my mom, and we did telemedicine too, which I think is great, the technology stuff.
Now, I made a note because you sent me a picture of something that you saw sitting on the beach one morning. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, I'd been, asking for signs, or, why has this happened? Show me something that I know everything's okay. And a water spout came up on Amelia Island. There hadn't been one in 53 years, and came up that day. So I was like, oh, okay, I get it now, Lord. That's a good sign, the power and the beauty. But still, yeah, that was, pretty much. I stopped asking for signs after that because, I believe, and that was a good when they got my attention.
Okay, so the month of May was your sabbatical, and the next month, June.
Right.
What did you do in June? What would we say? How would you describe the month of June?
I came back and went to work, and, things were going good. I had a lot of support from, friends, family, and customers, and complete strangers. I finished up that month of work and was taking a little weekend getaway, and I got a phone call that one of my guys that was helping me, who I was trying to help, had stolen some stuff from the second house. The first person that called, I defended it wasn't my guys, and then when the second lady called, then I said, hey, call the police, it's got to be him.
So, the month of May was your sabbatical, time to begin your grieving. We understand you kept grieving, and part of that was you're going back to work in June. And so what was the significance? Why was it so bad? What happened? What did that worker do for you? Why was that so bad for you?
Well, it could have ruined my business. The people that he did it to loved me enough that knew I didn't do it. But it just, it was just like, here's something else that's just, I guess trying to get at me that, without the help of my therapist and you and other Elijah, my dog in my life, I just it was just like I'm gonna have to get through this too.
Well, speaking of Elijah, look, I forgot about that. When did you pick up Elijah? That was when?
That was like June the 5th or something like that. Because I'd also, when I got back, you remember Red Dog, my other dog died, so I had two dogs and my wife died, so I got a beautiful animal. Elijah, so.
Well, this is something that really impressed me because, like I said, you've been in our program since November 18. So you were ready to start tapering, and Sara was your encouragement there too. And it wasn't right. It was right during the middle of all of this, this first week in May, that you actually started a tapering program with us under Dr. Rad. So then what happened? How long did you actually taper, you felt like?
I started in May, so it was like a 2-month taper.
Good.
And I wasn't, by the time it got to the end, all those fears that you read about now, I didn't feel anything. It was just like I was not, I wasn't addicted anymore, let's put it that way.
So it was kind of a natural closure.
It was just a natural way to come off of a 10-year opiate addiction. And it was no bumps. It wasn't anything. It was like, it was amazing, really, kind of.
And
I was
let's just
so
leave
scared.
it at that. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
It was amazing, fantastic. So quick recap. Started out losing your dog, losing your wife, on the week of your 34th anniversary, and you reconnected with family in Florida,
All right.
got you some help, and went down, then came back in June, started working. We talked some more. We talked about all the connections. You talked about continuing the tapering. You were feeling good about it, even though we suggested you might want to go another extra month.
Right.
What did you tell me?
Well, I was like, I'm ready. I think that it's it's time, and Sara was proud of me, and it was time.
It was time,
Yeah, it was time.
and you just kept on the plan we originally.
But he did ask me to go another month, and I did. I mean, I followed doctor's orders, and I did it, and but at the end of the 2, it was great, and you guys were proud of me, and I'm glad that you guys were there. I wouldn't have made it without.
Well, for everybody out there, I want you to hear this. He did it right. He talked to us up front about the tapering. We talked with Dr. Rad. We staffed it. And we walked with him the whole process. And it was a difficult process. So please, if you're wanting to taper, talk with us. This is when you're going to need all of us. You're going to need Dr. Rad. You're going to need talking with Krista and our pharmaceutical. You're going to need either Lisa or Sue with our drug counseling, and myself with the pastoral care. We want to walk with you. And we did. And it worked all right, didn't it?
And you're still walking.
And we're still walking with you. It's like I told everybody, you never really leave us. You have a story to tell. Well, I'm going to end it right there for this session, and then we'll come back and do part 2. I'm Pastor Fred, and you are?
Wiley.
Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
If I can find a way to turn it off.